Hello, Metal Faithful. I am your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich, and this is the Metal Hammer of Doom, brought to you by the good people at the Radulich and Broadcasting Network. Tonight, we are going to review the new Metallica album. Actually, we're going to review half of it. What Metallica did was they released a double album, which is fun because half of us just listen to things digitally now, so what's an album? But they released 6 tracks on one disc, 6 tracks on another disc, and then a third disc of brouhaha. So anyway, we're going to do disc 1 tonight of Hardwired to Self-Destruct, which features Hardwired, Atlas Rise, Now That We're Dead, and we'll pretend that we're dead, pretend we're dead, Moth into Flame, Dream No More, and Halo on Fire. But I'm not alone. I said we, and we is 2 other folks that we're going to bring on the podcast. One of them is my co-host. Been doing this with me for a long time now, and I'm sure he regrets every moment of it. Mr. Robert, how you doing, sir?
I am doing dandy, and in fact, I am so dandy that I bought this album the day it came out, and went to Walmart after work and bought it.
Now, did you buy an edited copy at Walmart where they have to bleep out all the curse words, or did you buy like an adult copy?
Oh, they didn't have an edited copy, so, I can still hear how fucked and shit out of luck we are, which I have to say, Metallica cursing is just kind of weird.
Really? The same people that covered Last Caress by the Misfits?
Well, that's different. That's them doing a different song. Like, the only time they've really cursed besides that is like Saint Anger, and Saint Anger was poopy.
Yes, and if you'd like to hear just how poopy it was, we reviewed that. That was our very first turkey that we reviewed right here on the Metal Hammer of Doom so many years ago. We've been doing this for 10 years now. Let's bring up the third chair. Mr. Jesse, how do you do, sir?
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, gentlemen. It's right around the corner. Gobble, gobble.
That's right. Tomorrow morning, baby. I got to go to work, though. I have to get up and go to work for a couple of hours before I can go to my in-laws and indulge in the turkey.
Coop, is Lowe's treating you better than that?
Well, of course. I'm off Thursday. I'm not having to do like poor Walmart employees do and get there at like 4 and watch 2 fat women fight over a television. But fortunately, I found out. See, here's what I thought. I'll be working 3 o'clock on Friday, and actually I volunteered. I didn't volunteer. I was asked to take the closing shift because my poor manager would have had to get off at 11, drive 40 minutes home, get up at 5, and drive 40 minutes to work to open.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I took the bullet for him. But, see, I thought, 3 o'clock, that's fine. Nobody's going to be there at 3 o'clock. No, our rush time, like our peak time is 11 a.m. So everybody's going to be wanting a goddamn Christmas tree, and my hands are going to be stickier than a 14-year-old who just discovered masturbation.
No,
Yuck.
Get a sock.
Let's get on to Metallica, which is what we're all here for tonight. First 6 tracks from Hardwired to Self-Destruct. We've got Hardwired, Atlas Rise, Now That We're Dead, Moth into Flames, Dream No More, and Halo on Fire. We will do the next 6 next week. So here we go. This is now I don't think there's a whole lot to say here as far as prefacing. I think we've all listened to Metallica for years. I think it's safe to say we all prefer the pre-Black Album stuff. Would that be correct? Is anyone going to vote here for the Load era?
I mean, I could, but then I'd be wrong.
One of my there's a few songs that I really enjoy off of that album, but clearly, pre-Black blows Load away.
Okay.
It blows the load.
Real quick.
And then it gets all messy.
Just for you,
Cooper.
Give the napkin.
Not counting this album or Death Magnetic. You can't choose either one, and you're not going to choose Saint Anger. So really the choices are everything from Kill 'Em All to Reload. What's your favorite Metallica album?
Oh, Ride the Lightning.
Okay. Cool. Jesse, favorite Metallica album?
I'll go man, I'm gonna go with Kill 'Em All. Didn't that? I used to listen to their discography. I mean, left and right. Are we going to count S&M?
No.
Because I loved S&M. That was some.
Yeah,
S&M
is phenomenal, but it's also a live concert album. I'm not counting that.
Oh, you're not going to count it. All right, then. Kill 'Em All, Hit the Lights, Four Horsemen, Motor Breath, Jump in the Fire, Pulling Teeth, Whiplash, Phantom Lord, No Remorse. And if I'm not correct, did Kill 'Em All feature Dave Mustaine?
It featured his songwriting.
Okay, all right. I knew you would know, Coop.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm going to Kill 'Em All.
Okay. You're both wrong. The best album, your favorite album, is really Master of Puppets. It's the best.
Of Muppets?
What was that?
I said, you mean Pastor of Muppets.
Shut up. No, Master of Puppets is phenomenal. I could listen to that album on a loop forever. It's my favorite Metallica album, probably with a close second being Injustice for All. And of the new stuff, I don't think they've done better than Death Magnetic. But you know, we all have our preferences.
I still maintain Load and Reload were two great half albums that could have made a fucking killer album if you just cut the shit out of both of the two.
Oh man, I almost might say the same thing when we talk about these two albums. To be honest, I shouldn't say when we talk about this album. I'm really upset about the fact that we've got 6 tracks. And we'll get into the album. I'm gonna stay quiet for right now. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead and finish. Sorry, man.
You know what's actually funny? I've not listened to the second part of this. I've only listened to this one.
I've listened to a little bit of Confusion, and I'm like, nope, save it for next week. But I have to say this, and then we'll get into the album. A couple of things. One, I said it about Death Magnetic. I feel like Death Magnetic was as if everything from Black to Reload, to Black to Saint Anger, never happened. And it was the spiritual follow-up to Injustice for All. I really loved Death Magnetic, and they went all the way back to that Injustice for All, like Master of Puppets era of songwriting and playing. So this was an interesting change because now it feels like they're like, okay, let's take our best stuff from Kill 'Em All through Injustice years, and let's take our best stuff from the Black Album through Saint Anger years and mash them together and make a super album. Because that's what Hardwired to Self-Destruct feels like. This is their 10th studio album. Came out on November 18th, and it's been 8 years actually since Death Magnetic, which I actually bought the game for, the Guitar Hero game, so I could play those songs, which were phenomenal. So, unless you guys have anything else you want to add real quick in terms of just, you know, Metallica, your thoughts about Metallica in general, or, you know, the albums leading up to this. The last thing I will say before I give it over and then we start playing music, I don't really hate any Metallica album. I mean, Saint Anger, we tore to shreds. And that was mostly an incompetency in production. But, like, you know, I never really gave Metallica sort of a hard time for the Black Era stuff. And, you know, it's like the most popular, most highest selling album. So, you know, what can one say? But, you know, Load and Reload, as much as people hated those albums, I actually don't hate them. It's just not thrash era Metallica. It's hard rock era Metallica. And, you know, so what? So what? So what? So fucking what? So, that said, you know, I don't mind Load and Reload. But, Coop, you wanna throw in here?
I would definitely say the correct summation of this album. The last one was the bridge between Injustice for All and the Black Album. This one is like the Black Album to maybe Load, but it's with them not forgetting what they did before. Yeah, and like with Load, where they're just like, I'm going to write Ronnie now.
All right, well, final word before we jump into the music here.
I'm just very glad to be on a podcast with you guys to discuss Metallica. I'm not really going to go into a whole lot about my background with these guys. I could just tell you that in early 90s, pretty sentimental stuff when Black Album hit, and I was dating my wife at the time. So, then Coop, I think you were shortly going to be born that year, I believe. If not the next year or the year before, one or the other. But it's so they are a staple in the metal. I mean, they are Metallica. They are what you think of when you talk to somebody. Hey, what metal band do you know? These are the guys they mention, and it's amazing to see them still around. 30? Are we talking 30-some years since 1983 was Kill 'Em All. So we're going 33 years, man. That is some fucking metal. So let's go, right, man. Let's get into this.
Let's do it. This is Hardwired. Couple of things about that song. You ever hear a song on an album and just wish the whole album was that song?
Yes.
Some albums, they have been that whole song.
Two, remember what I was saying about Slayer releasing the best song for the moment, you know, with respect to Disciple in 9/11? So we just went through this election. This is not going to be a political anything, but it would be stupid for me not to acknowledge where we are in this country, where there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of frustration, a lot of anger, a lot of disconnect, and a lot, you know, in a general feeling of dread. I mean, if you follow my Facebook feed, it's at least 2 or 3 different websites that keep putting up articles of, isn't this how Rome fell? So
doom, I say.
So Hardwired to Self-Destruct, very, very poignant for the time. This is probably the best song off this first album, in my opinion. Go ahead, Coop.
Yeah, this one's one that I really like. This one got a lot of my interest, but I will say that I'm a little partial to some of the later songs in this album because they don't do this. If that makes sense. Some of the songs have more of a melodic hook to them. But this one is definitely the song that when I heard it, I'm like, fuck yeah, Metallica's doing Metallica for once.
Yeah.
Instead of writing Ronnie.
I was very excited when I heard this. I was like, yes, we're finally going to get some Metallica with some balls and not completely overproduced to the point of oblivion and anger.
Oh, God.
And I was halfway right about that. Jesse.
Yeah, great single to be dropped, right? I mean, this is the first one that got dropped. So I remember listening to this first single going, oh, you know, hey, it's 8 years. Did they say it's been 8 years since they've dropped the last album? Death Magnetic was 2008.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Man, that is building up some anticipation. And I mean, you talk about just if they dropped something that was absolute shit, let's just say they did drop Ronnie, that first single, boy, they would have never heard the end of it. And to wait 8 years for something like that to hit our ears would just be horrible. So I think Hardwired is a great way, number one, to open up the album. And you're right, Mark, it does speak a lot to the psyche of the American people right now. We're just ready to everybody I've seen, when I say everybody, but there's been so much of that negative shit on Facebook and how it's being spread about how we're not going to make it. It's the end of the world. Folks,
Hawking says we've only got what was it, 1,000 years left? Anyone, did you guys see that?
Yeah. Yep. It won't be long. We're going to kill ourselves. And there's plenty of truth to what they say because, we watch, if you look at history, you can easily see that humans just can't stop killing themselves and coming up with ways of killing themselves. Even though they want to better themselves, there's something that is deeply flawed in humanity. And this song is a theory on what it is. We're hardwired to self-destruct. What do you think of that, Coop? Can I bring it home?
I really like it. It really reminds me of why I eat at Taco Bell once a week.
Oh, I could go for some Taco Bell right now, I'll tell you that much. All right.
Right. It's the best.
It really is a suck. Like, I've lost 70 pounds, but...
How many?
70.
Damn,
nice.
Dude. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I've still got, a long way to go. I have, 150 pounds to lose. So, yeah, I guess I'm doing okay. But,
yeah.
But the point that I was making there was, as hard as I'm working and as much weight as I've lost, I remember I started at 355, so 70 pounds. I'm still a fat ass. There are times where, tonight, where I had to work an hour extra because my relief didn't come in. And I'm not going to tell any more stories than that. But suffice to say, I had to stay extra, and by the time I got home, I was starving, and all I wanted to do was stop and get fast food. So, with that said, hey, here's track 2, Atlas Rise. So that song's badass. That's one of my favorite ones. They're continuing. They don't quite get into the hard rock stuff just yet. We're still into the thrash / poppy thrash that Metallica has become known for. We still got some balls. We're still doing good. We're gonna take a dive after this, but
no.
Hardwired and Atlas Rise, we're going strong here, in my opinion.
All right. Well, one of my biggest fears after bringing this album up on Spotify was seeing that Hardwired, which we had all had the opportunity to listen to since it was dropped as a single, was 3 minutes and 11 seconds long. All right. And just a big spoiler alert here, folks. That is about half as long as the rest of the songs on both of these albums. Okay. So Hardwired for Self-Destruct was Hardwired was just a little bit of a taste to bring you in. Now Atlas Rise shows up, and I'm looking at Spotify, and I'm seeing 6 minutes and 29 seconds, and I'm like, I don't know if I can trust Metallica not to become samey in 6 minutes and 29 seconds. And Atlas Rise does a great job of avoiding that aspect by staying a fresh song all throughout 6.5 minutes. I didn't do it, but I would have loved to have gone back and looked at how many songs are in Metallica's discography that are 5 minutes or more. Because I know there's going to be, is there a lot? I mean, I wouldn't think that there's going to be stuff that is. Okay, I'm looking at Death Magnetic right now, and I see 7 minutes, 8 seconds. 7 minutes, 52 seconds.
You kidding me? The first 4 or 5 albums are all like 12-minute songs.
Wow. Okay, my misconception then. It's been that long since I've actually listened. 8 years, folks. I can forget a few things in 8 years. Track length might be one of them. So, cut me some slack. Go ahead, Coop. That was my incorrect summation.
God dang it.
Yeah, there's a lot of. God dang it. Dang it, Jesse. I'm gonna kick your ass. Anywho, I have so much practice on my Hank Hill voice, but yeah, there's a lot of Metallica songs over 3 minutes, especially 5 minutes. But yeah, this song here, Atlas Rise, I managed to keep everything going pretty well. Lyrically, it just seems to be, Atlas, give them all your problems, so hold them up. Yeah. Seems like we've all got that guy at our job. We might be that guy at the job. Who knows?
Boy, am I fucking wrong. I'm looking at all these track lengths. Jeez Louise.
Right? You don't realize that. Phantom Lord, 7, Metal Bullshit, 7.
That right there, 7. That is a testament to what these guys put out, to where I'm not sitting there going, geez, is this fucking song over yet? At, like fucking The Outlaw Torn, 9 minutes and 49 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bleeding Me, 9 minutes. Fixers, like almost fucking 10.
Wow. Amazing. That's good on you, Metallica.
Are you looking at like the Wikipedia page?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm on Spotify right now.
Oh, okay. So I went right to the Wikipedia page, and even on like Kill 'Em All, the 4 Horsemen. 13 seconds.
Yeah, it's not like they just evolved into this. That's the way they fucking started, and they kept it the same.
So, like, their shortest song is 3 minutes and 8 seconds, and it's fucking Motor Breath. Even Whiplash, 4 minutes and 10 seconds long. But, like, No Remorse, Seek and Destroy, and Metal Militia are all over, Metal Militia is 5 minutes, but No Remorse and Seek and Destroy are, like, almost, 6-7 minutes long. And then Ride the Lightning, it was my fucking opera. That's got, Ride the Lightning is 6 minutes, 30 seconds. Fade to Black is almost 7 minutes. Creeping Death is 6 minutes, 30 seconds. Call of the Cthulhu, which is a fucking instrumental.
Yeah. Almost
9 minutes. And then, of course, we get the best one, Master of Puppets. And we've got Master of Puppets, which by itself is 8 minutes and 30 seconds. The Thing That Should Not Be, 6.5. Welcome Home Sanitarium, the greatest songs ever written, 6.5. Disposable Heroes, 8.5. mean, you know, Orion, another instrumental, 8 minutes, 28 seconds.
8.5 minutes. Damn.
And here we go, Injustice for All. The Blackened, 6 minutes, 40 seconds. And Justice for All, 9 minutes, 44 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Eye of the Beholder, 6.5 minutes. 7.5 minutes. The Shortest Straw, which is not the shortest song, 6.5 minutes. The Frayed Ends of Sanity, 7 minutes, 40 seconds. To Live is to Die, almost 10 minutes long.
That's amazing.
Okay, so let's talk about the Black Album, right there. Pop album, you know, the album that pushed them into the platinum stratosphere. And here we go. Fucking The Unforgiven, 6.5 minutes.
I would say, though, that most of the songs off of that album, though, are probably the shortest compared to some of the other albums.
Yeah, sure.
You see a lot of 3s and 4s.
6.5 minutes for Nothing Else Matters, which did I tell you at my wedding, I made my father read the lyrics to Nothing Else Matters, and he read it like William Shatner.
Like with a microphone and everything.
Oh yeah, like we had people at our wedding do readings, and I'm not a religious person, but I do love my metal, so I made my father read the lyrics to Nothing Else Matters.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I had a couple of people who wanted to like open up their lighters during our wedding, and one of my friends definitely threw up devil horns. And my friend of Misery, 6 minutes 47 seconds. So I mean, I can keep doing this, but yeah, Metallica, not known for short, punky songs.
No, they are not. Apparently not.
All right, anything else before we move on?
We're going to move on to my favorite track of the album.
Yeah. Cooper, anything else?
I'm good.
All right. Every time I see the song, I wish it were L7's Pretend We're Dead. Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget my son. He's saying return to Ash. I'm not even making a joke. I feel like he's saying return to Azkaban.
I swear, dude, I thought the same thing. Return to Azkaban.
How did we go from Ash to Azkaban?
Because it's like ass, my friend, or something. I don't know. Return to ass.
Ass.
Okay, I think I made it very clear what I felt the song was very derivative of when I turned it down and began to sing my own song.
Well,
that guitar lick right at the beginning is straight out of Enter Sandman.
There are. I think there's a little bit more parallels that you can draw if you listen to this song and compare it to Enter Sandman. After you did that, I started listening and I was like, damn, you can really pick out some of the same shit. And what's funny is that listening to this album, when we hit the second album, I swear, dude, you're going to do the same thing with another one, because there's another song that sounds like something they, borrowed from their previous stuff. So I couldn't place it. But I certainly didn't make that connection here prior to you with Now That We're Dead, prior to what you did there earlier. So anyway, hey, it's my favorite song. Coop, is there any reason why I shouldn't like this?
Oh, I love this song.
I didn't ask you, Mark Radulich, damn it.
Dude, I love this song.
Okay, now see, I love it. There we go. That's what I like to hear.
I mean, it's catchy. I really caught myself singing it a few times. I really liked it.
Sorry.
Goodness.
What I was trying to say was, why don't you two go to Massachusetts and get married, okay?
Oh, Mark Radulich, come on, man. Can't appreciate it. So are you saying that this is the worst off of this? We're only halfway through of our 6 songs.
Oh, no. The last 2 tracks on here, we have yet to get to those pieces yet.
Oh, ouch. All right.
But yeah, I just thought Now That We're Dead was just derivative. First of all, whenever we hear that song, and I let it play a little bit longer just to check, what the hell is he saying there? And Ash, he sounds like Azkaban for some odd reason. It might have been a cooler song if he was actually saying that, but it's
Harry Potter, I'm coming.
Sirius Black, return to Azkaban. But my other issue with it is, all I hear is Enter Sandman. And so, that song was playing, and I'm just picturing the Sandman walking through a crowd of, rough-neck Philly wrestling fans.
All right.
An ECW reference for everyone. Thank you.
Wrestling.
That's track 4 of 6. This is another good song. This is Moth into Flame. absolutely perfect. Amazing. Well done, Metallica. Just end the album right there.
Well, judging by what how many songs they put on this CD, they may have thought about it. I agree with you. It's a great song. Another great single. I mean, these guys who are picking the stuff to release are doing a great job. They know what's going to get the public's attention, the fans' attention. And Moth into Flame it's heavy, it's fast, it's what we want. Is it what we got with the whole album? I'm going to save my rant till after the album.
Why? You seem like you were going somewhere. Go.
I got a rant about 6 songs, and 6 songs on the album, and the fact that, folks, let's talk about just getting duped into something. All right, look.
Oh God.
You've got 6 songs on this album, and Mark, I don't know if you're still on the Wikipedia or not. But if
nope.
if you hop over to the Wikipedia, you'll find out that this first album, I think, is 35 minutes long, I believe. Maybe 37. I can't remember. It's somewhere around that area. But and then if you look at the second album is like 40 minutes, okay? So a total of 12 tracks. A total of 77 minutes. Now, Mark Radulich or Robert Cooper, how many minutes of audio can you fit on one CD?
80.
That is correct. And if you look at a CDR, 74. All right? So, the fact that this is a double album, Mark, I don't know if you... Coop, you said you went out and bought it. Was it a little bit extra because it was 2 discs?
It was $15 for 3 discs. I mean, it wasn't.
That ain't too bad. That deluxe edition.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad for 3. Honestly, I feel like 2 discs for the usual price they ask isn't really that exorbitant, considering it's usually $11 for a new one, or 9.
I was going to say for 3 discs, that's actually pretty cheap. So
well, it's funny because the live album that comes with it, oh boy. Remember how I was complaining about how James Hetfield's voice is like so way too cleaned up?
Uh-huh.
And then I heard that live album, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, James, stop singing. He could hit the lights, and he's like, hit the lights.
All right, real quick. Just as a point of comparison, Death Magnetic comes in with 1 album, all the songs shoved into 1 album at 74 minutes and 43 seconds.
So they cram-packed it full. Now, the only reason they made this a dual-disc set is due to being maybe 3 minutes over what they could potentially pack onto a full CD. Instead of cutting 1 song, they said, nope, this is all great stuff. We've got to keep it all, and we're going to charge people a little bit more for 2 albums that have 6 songs apiece on them. Okay? How many songs did Death Magnetic have on it?
10.
10. Okay. And the next thing I want to go ahead and talk about here, just real quick, just drop this little bit of knowledge on you. We just listened. If you were paying attention to the singles that were dropping off of these albums, this dual album set, you just heard 1/3 of this first album in singles. Because 2 of them dropped, and the other 4 songs you didn't have the opportunity to hear yet. And that, to me, felt like it was a bit of a ripoff, in my opinion. Just putting it out there. That's my opinion. What do you think, Mark?
Look, I mean, I don't understand why Robert Cooper continues to buy albums when this great thing called Spotify exists, but he does.
Because I'm supporting the industry.
They get pennies through downloads. I don't want to hear it. So millions and millions of dollars. I got to imagine at this point a lot of bands are trying to figure out ways for people to go out and buy physical media when it's just so easy to download from Spotify or Apple Music or Google Music and listen to it on your phone. So I would imagine a lot of this was based on the fact that they split this up and they wanted you to buy, like the deluxe edition that comes with the extra stuff, including the DVD. That's my only guess.
Okay. All right. Coop, you have anything you want to add?
I enjoyed the song. I liked it. So I have to admit that kind of that bridge part, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, all I could think of was the Toxic Waltz by Exodus. No? Nobody else singing the Toxic Waltz? Kick your friend in the head and have a ball?
You want to know how much Exodus I've heard in my life?
What was that?
You want to know how much Exodus I've heard in my life?
Not much.
How about none?
Wow.
Oh, wow. That is sad.
I think it's Coop's playlist time now. He gets to make a playlist for Mark Radulich.
They covered Lowrider. That
I don't
alone,
want a playlist.
That alone means you should listen to it. They covered Lowrider. The thrash version of Lowrider, and you know you love it.
So did Korn.
'Cause all my friends own a Lowrider.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. See, when it's somebody else making you a playlist, you're like, I don't want to.
I really am a prick. When it comes to this.
You listen to my music. I don't listen to yours.
Yeah, no, I run this.
Wasn't my manager said I'm a prick, and I said, well, you are what you eat.
No. Bam.
He got a chuckle out of that one. But yeah, I really like this single. Honestly, I really like this first part of this first album. I do. It's not perfect, but it's good, especially so far.
The Batten 500. Three out of 6 tracks are phenomenal. And then we have Dream No More.
Oh, yeah. I really wish they would have kept it to Call of Cthulhu.
Feel you.
All right, here we go. This is Dream No More. let me say something positive first. That sounded like it could have been included on either Load or Reload. Absolutely.
I want to go ahead just real quick and concrete your opinion here or support your opinion. When you say that, I was just going over to Josh Calandros, our good buddy that joined us on our Doctor Strange The Oath podcast, okay? And I'm going to read you this quote. He says, "Dream No More is straight Load, Reload era Metallica, and it's awesome."
Yeah. I mean, look, it's not my favorite thing on here, but upon listening to it again and giving it a fair listen and not going, why can't we just listen to Hardwired to Self-Destruct again? Or Moth into Flame. It's fine. It definitely has that Load, Reload, hard rock swing to it. So I'll allow it. It's not the greatest song I've ever heard. Nothing on Load, Reload was, except for Ain't My Bitch.
That's true. That song deserves a Tony.
Ain't My Bitch was awesome. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Well, it's funny, have you noticed that they totally don't get any of James's verbal tics in this album?
Oh, there is. Is there any yes at all?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't hear any yeahs. Like, you know what? They need to just do what Sabbath did on that last album, where they just straight up took Ozzy's fucking verbal filler and turned it into the song.
All right. Dream No More.
This fucking Walmart is packed. God damn it! Why did I have to be the one who gets the fucking mouse traps?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, it's funny because I was really tempted to bring a cat, but my cats would probably be scarred if I drug them to somebody else's house.
Oh, man, you put a fucking cat in a car, you better hope it's in a cage. I'll tell you that much right now.
I used to have a cat that would actually ride with you. Like, she'd just jump in the car like a dog and just chill in the back.
Are we doing this?
Hey, Mark, you got a cat?
Dude, I can talk about my cats for a very long time.
Oh, my God.
Oh, dude, I can talk about my cats for a while. But anywho, that's why I'm single.
Nobody cares about your pussy. Go get with it.
Oh, what can I say? You are what you eat, and that's why I'm one big dick.
Oh!
But, this song here, I could totally see this. Actually, I was maybe just from the, I was almost thinking a little bit of a Sad But True sort of vibe, but I think it's maybe just because of the swing of it. I could definitely see this thing Load, Reload era. And you know what? This is pretty good. I like it. It's one of those, like, tracks that I'll listen to as I'm driving because it's a 35-minute album. It's like one of those that I'm listening to as I'm driving because I don't care enough to switch tracks.
Yeah. More of a burden. Just let it go.
It's perfectly okay.
Yeah. My sentiments are right there with Coop. I enjoy this song. I found out that a lot of these songs on this first album are actually, they're pretty decent. And I don't hate a song about Cthulhu or however he pronounces it. It's decent. I don't hate it.
Like I said, it's fine. It's, a 45-degree day.
Got to put a coat on or a sweater jacket.
Wire. All right, here we go. This is it. Yeah. Meh.
I can almost see why you hate it.
You know, I will jump to the defense of this song. The guitar work, the tone, and the solos is great.
All right.
That's what I got. The guitar work and the solos, like the guitar tone's really kind of warm. I feel like it really works. It's different.
How do you think? Okay, if you had the chance to take this, download it to your phone. Well, Coop, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's say you could take the CD and then and a CD player back in time and sit down in 1985. James Hetfield's sitting right across from you, and you played him something like this. Do you think he would love it, or do you think that he would shat upon it?
I happen to have a recording of a conversation that I had with James Hetfield when I went back in time and showed him that song. I'm going to play it for you.
What did he say?
Okay, I'm going to play it for you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Jay!
I knew that was coming. I understand. This is probably the weakest track off of this album. Just because it is not what we got from the singles. Could you imagine? Oh man, I think there's probably a lot of people that are a little upset about this. Have any of you guys looked at any of the reviews at all? I'm just curious. I haven't. I mean, Mark, you seen anybody review it?
Metallica is like one of those bands that I think you're not going to get a lot of honest reviews from because they don't want to shit on an album because they want interviews with the band. They want tickets to the shows. I don't think anyone wants to take the chance of saying, hey, your album, it's okay in pieces, but a lot of it just blows. And then find out, oh, well, you're off the Christmas card list.
Yeah.
I don't. It's kind of like, reviews of Ghostbusters. I think you get an inflated review because nobody wants to take the chance of pissing off the wrong people, and not being included in the coolness. So I haven't looked at reviews. No.
Well, I can tell you, I just hopped on to Angry Metal Guy just to see if he said anything about it, and doesn't look like there's anything readily available, because I would have loved to have seen if he toured a new asshole, but not on there, so. Do you want to give your final thoughts, anything, or Coop, did you have anything you want to add to what you said, or I don't have anything else to say about that final song.
I really do not mind that final song. I think it's perfectly fine. I don't think old school James Hetfield would fly in his time machine and really love this song, but if you want to use that logic, there's a lot of their discography he's going to be really disappointed in.
What happened to us? Lars, some badass from the future.
Hey, at least he kept his hair.
We're gonna make hard rock albums. We're gonna be ass fucking rich, but we're gonna be total sellouts in the process. And some douche. Yeah, by the way, Cliff dies. But some douche that replaces Cliff is gonna say, "Yeah, sell out every stadium we play."
Oh.
What an asshole! And Lars, it's even worse for you, Lars. Yeah, you know how you're this really cool underground Danish music collector, you with all your tapes and everything? Yeah. You're not going to be cool in the future. Well, why, James? What happened to me? Called Napster. You're going to throw a dick pic. Rightfully so. You're still going to throw one, and people will hate us 5 minutes.
Can we just talk about the irony real quick? The irony about the fact that Lars and the whole Napster thing, and the fact that this album, they released every single track free of charge on YouTube in video form. So you can go and watch this completely free. It's given to the masses, and if you're smart enough, you can figure out how to download those YouTube videos for yourself. What the fuck? Things have changed. Don't get me wrong. We're talking, we're about 16 years outside of Napster and that whole big deal. And I know there's been words that he's had some words. As a matter of fact, I swear I saw an article stating that this album was going to be available on Napster, which I don't know what the state of Napster is nowadays. However,
who the fuck uses Napster?
Nobody I fucking know. Certainly not me. But
it's more like Crapster, am I right?
Hey, bro fist. But okay, I'll give them props. I've lambasted them about making a dual album set where they can make one single CD. I've given them shit about dropping 1/3 of their album as singles. But I will give them a nod for making a music video for every single song off the album, a la following in the footsteps of the one, the only Weird Al Yankovic.
Everyone should follow Weird Al's lead.
Damn right.
If you do what Weird Al does, you can't go wrong.
Now, as for the album in a whole, I'll go ahead and say that I enjoy the album. Halo on Fire, I guess, is a way to kind of put you to sleep at the end of the album. It's not taking you out on a high note. It's more along the lines of, hey, we've went through, we had a fun voyage. Yeah, all right. And just like any other 50 to 60-year-old man, after a fun voyage, he probably wants to take a nap, right, James? So there you go.
I'm not disappointed, to be honest with you, because I've kind of accepted that, Metallica, it isn't going to be just like 40 minutes of straight fucking thrash. Okay. Anyway, I remember going to parties and stuff and getting into conversations with people who were Metallica fans, and you weren't cool if you were a fan of Metallica post Black Album. You were kind of a douche nozzle. And too cool for school, Metallica fans would tell you to your face that if you were still a fan of Metallica after And Justice for All, or God forbid you actually liked the Black Album, I mean, you were a total outcast.
Wow.
It would be like it would be like if you walked in and be like, yeah, I think Trump would be a good president. I think that'll be fine. It's that level of fucking a Black Album. Fucking serious? Boo, white bread.
Oh man.
But I've always been one of those people who were like, look, they made 5, 6 albums, whatever it was, doing the same thing. I think these are these older dudes now. They wanted to try something different and old. They made an album that was wildly appealing to the masses, and they made a mint off it. I don't begrudge them to make
Yeah, you can't. You can't begrudge them for that.
So I again look at Hardwired, and Death Magnetic was like a love letter to the old Metallica fans. This was like, okay, well, we've done paid homage to our old fans. We've given them something, to kind of show, hey, look, we still remember how to do this old school style. But Hardwired to Self-Destruct, well, simultaneously feels reflective of the times, the modern times that we're in. So it kind of feels like, okay, we gave you what you wanted. We made the spiritual successor to And Justice for All. Go fuck yourself. It's time to go put out an album so that we can tour stadiums and remind people about 40 bands. And you know what? Good for you, Metallica. Good for you. People, who the fuck you people are. God bless. So I'm going to go ahead and give 3 out of 5 stars.
That's it? Only 3?
Yeah. It's an average album.
You know, can I go next?
Yeah, go ahead, man. I'll go ahead and say I'll give a thumbs up. I didn't give my rating, but I give a thumbs up. So go ahead, Coop.
You know, honestly, if I were going to give this one a, I don't know where the blocker is. Well, I guess it'll be back here. If I were to give this one a grade, honestly, I would give this about an 8 out of 10. It's not perfect. There are some flaws in this, but really for a first part of an album, we've got 3 really good songs that show different strengths that the band has had throughout their run. And then, I mean, we've got some other songs that I really don't feel are all that bad. I think that they do a perfect job of complementing one another and really kind of filling in some of the cracks that the other songs leave. Yeah, I haven't got to the other side yet. I hear it's worse.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of this anime I was watching called You Go to the Negotiator. It's set in the first 6 episodes are set in Pakistan, and it's really interesting. I loved like the color palette, art design. I felt like it was really well done. Then they did the second part, which was Russia, which was a traditional sort of style, and I was like, first one 8, second one like 5. And then it averaged to like 6.5.
So you might be seeing something similar here when we get to the second part.
Probably. I mean, for the first part of it, yeah, it's about an 8. I'd give it a solid 8. I really liked it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a win. That's a win in my book.
Yes. And this week I didn't give Jesse any homework last week.
No homework.
We won't be waiting an hour to get into this one. So this might be our shortest show because I've only listened to this really once, this just 2. And it's kind of So so before we get into this, Jesse, anything you want to share, or any insights you want to get into? I mean, normally we talk about the band or give a little bit of history, but we've already talked a lot about that in the first show. So anything you want to add to this show?
Yeah, I will say I got to thinking about this when Coop had mentioned his feelings on this album. I know I really ran him into the ground last week. I ran Metallica into the ground for having such 6 songs on each disc. And what I've come to realize is that if you have 1 or 2 bad songs on a disc, that ratio is not good. So you better hope that if you're only going to put 6 songs on a disc, they better kick some ass. So tonight we're going to find out if they do. That's really all I have to add. We'll find out as we go throughout the podcast if Metallica can wow us again.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I wasn't wowed.
Mm-hmm.
I listened. Now I'm gonna say I was not also in the greatest of moods today, so that might have been the problem. Let's get into the silly Metallica album. We're only gonna do disc 2. We're not gonna get into like the bonus tracks like Lords of Summer, which is actually pretty good. But I've run through this album once, so I don't have a lot to say about it up front. I was talking about how I was not in the greatest mood today. That's what it was. I was not in the greatest mood today when I was listening to it, so that might have colored my opinion of the album. So my day has gotten perfectly better. I'm in a much better mood right now because I'm hanging out with my buddies. This is our track. This is Confusion. Jesse, I'll let you start. What are your thoughts on Confusion?
I think it's a great track to open up this second part of the dual album set here. I enjoyed it. I actually thought it was really strong. Going into this first song, I had very high hopes for what's to follow. I was like, man, we're doing good. I was just looking over the lyrics. It sounds like lyrically it's about I would assume either PTSD or some guy who's been scarred by war in some way, which is, hey, that sounds familiar. Speaking of Metallica. So, but anyway, yeah, I think it's a decent way to start out this second album set.
Cool.
Yeah, I was wanting to rewrite this song really quick about the beginning of this podcast. It's like, confusion, what were we talking about before that? Oh, that's right. I was feeling really, really grumpy. It's funny, like, I got two Metallica vibes. The beginning of this, I was like, oh boy, I love Diamond Head. Because, like, yeah, the beginning of the song is totally a tribute to, thinly veiled, tribute to Am I Evil by Diamond Head. Like, I was really surprised we didn't just start with, Mars. Just go ahead and just cut all of it out and just start with the fucking orchestral piece Mars, which that's taken from. And then I think the drum part after that, I was like, the drum fill after the beginning was like, oh boy, Cyanide. That was a good song too. Yeah.
I feel like you're saying a smidgen derivative.
I think when you talked about Black Sabbath plagiarizing themselves, yeah, I'm starting to get some Metallica plagiarizing themselves feelings here, which is fine. It's their music. It's not like we got a John Fogerty thing going here.
They actually covered Am I Evil, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they covered that. Okay. And actually, a lot of people don't know that it's not a Metallica song, and that amuses and annoys me all.
That would have been me about a year or so ago.
Yeah, I prefer the original version, but it's a great song. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was getting PTSD vibes with the lyrics. I think it's a solid song. Really, it loses a lot of the thrashier beats that we were getting from the first part of this album, and I'm wondering if perhaps they separated it just to give them distinct albums. But yeah, this is definitely the better of the bunch.
Coop, you mentioned something about overproducing last week. At least it was either in our chat or before the podcast started. Do you want to elaborate on the whole overproducing thing?
I think I mentioned it on both. What I find with the overproducing is that it takes out really all the natural edges and flaws that come with a person singing. So kind of takes out like a lot of the little things, like kind of like maybe some gravel throat, maybe a few some clicks, some swallows, some stuff like that. And I really feel like that they cleaned James's vocals up to where it was unnaturally clean, almost like Kurt Russell's face in Tron Legacy.
Is too perfect, or is Kurt Kurt Russell?
It was Kurt Russell, right? Wasn't it Kurt Russell? No, Jeff Bridges. Fuck
there
me.
You go.
I don't know why I mix the two up sometimes. It might be I don't know. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I don't know why I mix them up. Then again, I mix up Kenny Loggins and Kenny Rogers all the time, so
yeah.
But yeah,
that can happen.
Almost unnatural in a way. Like hearing James sing "Hit the Lights" live on the bonus disc for this really opened my eyes to why this album sounds the way that it does.
That's right.
You can tell that he has been singing for a solid 30 years, and it's not quite his natural register. when he does more of the, especially on that live album, when he does songs that are kind of the lower timbre, something that he would do more for the Load era, it really, you can really tell he's a lot more comfortable. He sounds a lot more natural. It's a lot less strained. But yeah, I feel like this album is, I mean, it's Metallica, so if it's overproduced, who gives a fuck? But yeah, I really feel like it's almost too clean, and heavy metal is very much a genre where cleanliness is frowned upon.
Yeah.
In many different ways, whether it comes from not showering or leaving in your or accidentally leaving in the click track. It is almost pop style production for what James has, and Metallica as a band has just more of your typical traditional metal mix to it. So it doesn't fit. It almost sounds like two separate tracks.
Jesse, you want to now? I mean, you really like this album, so you want to rebut, or really like that track at least. You want to rebut it all?
No, I can easily see the overproducing that you guys are talking about in there, and I can also tell you that, I mean, shoot, again, as we reiterate, we're going 30 years of Metallica here, 30 plus. So I'm willing to forgive, a bit of editing or a bit of production to get the song across. As long as it's heavy, which is what this song feels like to me. It certainly isn't it isn't some of the more laid back tracks we've heard Metallica do. And that's why I'm probably more forgiving of this one.
Let's move on to our next track here. This is Unkind. one's okay. I don't have any major complaints about that one. What do you guys think?
They get you with that heavy metal swerve at the beginning where it sounds like it's going to be oh man, Metallica, what the fuck are you doing? And then, you know, it kind of kicks up a notch. And it right before you cut it off, I think the song really starts to pick up. If I remember correctly, I think this might be my favorite one off of this album. I really like the first song. I think it's, the first one we were just talking about. Now I already forgot about the name. Confusion. I like that one, but Man Unkind I thought is a solid, a pretty good follow up to that one. So again, I'm pleased, and just in case nobody out there listened to the previous episode, Metallica writes some long songs, and I learned that last week by making the mistake of asking why or what are the song lengths of Metallica. Certainly they haven't breached the 4-minute mark a whole lot in their past. Incorrect. So again, this is another testament to that as they come close to, this is a 7-minute song. And again, it's a song that evolves, and they do a good job of not making a 7-minute song, some of them. I should say. This is a good example of one where it doesn't get samey and for that one song. It can easily be done where you're just like, fucking end it already. But for this one, I thought they did a good job keeping the song interesting. And Man Unkind. What a play on words.
Yeah, it was a very... Gotta admit, I honestly would have preferred if we kept something more like how the song originally started, with kind of that lighter guitar. I really felt like they could build more off of that, because they went from that, which I felt like it was a pretty cool little musical interlude, to very, very basic riff. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, that is Baby's first riff right there.
Goodness gracious.
Oh no, I've killed it. I killed the mock Radlich.
No. I live. All right,
It's
speaking of living. Let's go.
I was going to say, this song here was just kind of, it was okay. It's another one of those, I think I described one of the songs on the last album as I'm trucking my way through this album, I don't turn it because it's not offensive enough and I don't care enough to really turn it. But yeah, it's not making the favorites list.
You don't like it?
I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying I guess I don't dislike it. It's just there.
He's nonplussed. He's nonplussed. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to track 3. This is Here. I think I ended up liking this one as I was driving around in my mood. This is Here Comes Revenge.
did not like this song. I mentioned the previous track. We talked about something getting samey. This shit got samey for me. I don't like it when he decides to slow things down and sing us a tune. And you know, you know what I'm talking about. The way that he starts to sing a slow song to us, and it doesn't make me smile. And plus, this is a song where I really recognize the overproduction that you guys are talking about, where, you know, it's like, I mean, I could see Hetfield on a stage singing and women swooning here. I don't know why. That's really not a good image, to be honest. But, you know, it doesn't remind me of a fucking metal band. And granted, this song is heavy in parts. That's really my complaints about it. I think, well, we'll find out, but I'm pretty certain that this was my least favorite song of the 6 on this album. Coop?
I am still snickering at he was Abel, I was Cain. But oh, you.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Another thing I've noticed from this track that really I think highlights some of this album, not all of it, there's some good moments, but the songwriting on this album is kind of repetitive.
I was gonna say I've been plugging the lyrics into word count, by the way, just to see if anything catches my eye, and I'll let you guys know. But repetitive, yes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it does. From the, I guess, really the atmosphere of the song, I would call it uninspired. Thank you, Mark. Uninspired. That is a good way to put it. I really just feel like that this overall was more of a hard rock song. There wasn't a whole lot of metal involved with it, which was fine. I mean, lyrically, it's a story of I will get my revenge on you. Ooh, but
here it comes. Get ready.
I think, yeah.
Here comes revenge.
And actually, you know what drives me crazy? He's like, you ask forgiveness, I give you sweet revenge. I'm like, that didn't fit. That did not fit within the constraints of a single line for you, sir. You really just had to stretch that out, didn't you?
He did. It's like he forced that shit in there, man.
Yeah, it's one of those. I was just like, I don't know. Things like that just make my occasional OCD go off.
I'm gonna step in. Cooper, do you remember off the Black Album that song "Of Wolf and Man"?
You mean the song that the best version of it is obviously track 4 off of S&M? Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay. Now, that is this not the, like, he likes werewolves? I swear that's what this song's about. I'm looking at the lyrics. I swear it's about a werewolf.
I could definitely... Oh, geez. I could definitely see this being a werewolf song. Yep, looking at this. Yeah,
I mean,
werewolf song.
Here's the thing. Deciphering his lyrics sometimes really takes some thought. And it's almost like, you read one line and you try to connect it with the next, and it's kind of you have to kind of fill in the blanks sometimes. And I get the werewolf vibe from the song because he's talking about fangs, he's talking about arching his back, and we got the full moon and all this other shit going on. But then I look at some of the other stuff he's throwing in there. I don't know if that's the case. But, I mean, let me ask you this. Do you feel that Metallica is really known for getting deep lyrically?
There are some really good, thoughtful songs that Metallica have released. Yeah, I mean, Ride the Lightning is a really good song that's very anti-corporal punishment. I'm trying to think. Sanitarium's a really good one. Master of Puppets is a nice one. This one, those nice addiction songs. Trying to think. Yeah, The God That Failed, a real nice personal song.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some good stuff. I really just maybe feel like some of this album is that they're really trying, but it's not quite pulling it as much. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's not quite pulling through, though. I really wanted him to say, "Am I savage? Yes, I am."
Dude, all fucking song. When this song started, that's what I was thinking of. And you mentioned, for the last week, I've been trying to think of what is that Metallica song? And, of course, I'm too lazy to go back and look and see what actual song it was. But when you mentioned Am I Evil, I was like, that's fucking it. That's the thing that kept popping into my head every time he said, "Am I savage?" I was like, "Yes, I am." And I was like, oh, shit, wrong song. So,
in Mark 2.
Yeah, we're seeing repeats of previous shit that they've done. Well, it's hard not to disassociate with it. Go ahead.
It's sad. We're seeing both Petes, we're seeing repeats, and all that stuff.
There's two motherfuckers. Maybe every town has two twins that they call Pete and Repeat. But we seriously do have two people over in Parkersburg that are named Pete, and I can't remember what his brother's actual name is, but of course we call him Repeat. And Repeat died a while back. That's sad.
Did they call his funeral a do-over?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I'm going to hell. Yeah, this song, I mean, overall, this song it's fine. Again, I really just kind of feel like the second album half is really lacking, and I feel like if they would have taken a lot of the first half and maybe just interspersed the second half tracks in it wouldn't be as bad. It's almost like a piss break. Like what they did is instead they went the reverse Japan route, which in Japan what they do is unlike WWE where you have like big match, piss break, big match, piss break. In Japan, it builds. So you get your openers, your multi-man tags, then your smaller titles, then your big titles up at the top. So it constantly builds. I feel like this album, they really just front-loaded it. And then, I mean, there's a few good standouts here in this back half, but what you really said about 2 tracks out of 6 can really hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it can be really bothersome. But I do want to say one thing before I do forget it, because I can't quite remember at this point. But Kirk Hammett does a really good job with his solos on this album. His solos are really well done, even when the song's kind of just kind of fledgling. the solos are pretty well orchestrated.
Well, yeah, and they could be the bright spot in the song too that kind of keeps it up there for me. When it comes to like, okay, am I going to give this song a B? Am I going to give it a C? You know, when they throw him in there and let him loose, that can help. I can forgive some Metallica songs for that. So, all right, well, unless you have anything else, man, we can cue Mark, our producer, who's our silent partner now, to go on to the next track. Coop, I'll let you introduce it. Do you have the track list in front of you?
Oh, of course. A really weird-ass title, too. So, for if our poor silent man who won't hook up his fart microphone, I'm Mark Ratliff. Here is track number 11, the fifth song off of the second half of Hardwired to Self-Destruct. It is titled Murder 1. Oh, yeah. Mark is not going to talk just because his microphone's a piece. I was like, all right, Mark's going to talk. Mark didn't talk. All right, Jesse. What did you think about Murder 1?
Murder 1. You know, I want to go back into all the songs that we've covered this year that we've talked about on here. You know, we could do that because, hey, cheap plug for the Spotify Metal Hammer of Doom 2016 playlist. It's out there, folks. Go check it out. You can listen to all the albums we've covered. But I want to see how many songs have some kind of fucking card game trope to them. Because we got aces. What did you say here at the beginning? Aces wild, aces high, all the aces. Aces till you die. And I swear we just fucking talked about an album that it was Testament. Testament had a fucking song about blackjack.
You want to play 21?
Fucking Jake the Snake. I'll never forget that fucking promo. That was hilarious.
It's so sad. He was that fucking blitz. I think he was high.
I got 22. Oh, well, okay, sir. You lost.
You want to play Aces and Eights? I got two of those, too.
Don't do it. All right. So as for the song, it's all right. It's okay. It's a meh song. It's not anything that really. It's not holding much compared to the first two off of this, in my opinion. How about you?
I fully agree with that. Mark, I agree with what Mark has to say. He really feels that the voice is just too high. The voice really does not fit the. I really do feel like it's too bright to go of a voice to go with the music, which is kind of has a dark feel to it. We all made jokes about this. Really, really sounds like one. It really does. Like, Jesus, it started and I was like, all right, maybe it's just me. But then when Mark went darkness, they're visiting me.
Yeah.
Yeah. This song really, I can appreciate them kind of going for trying to go back to their roots, maybe find some inspiration. But damn, guys, you did not have to write a stereotypical, like, badass song. Like, he's a man. He's going to kill everybody. One man does not give a damn.
Coming next summer, Metallica, Murder One.
I was going to go with In a World.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not quite that epic. But yeah, this song here, again, just it's kind of there. Again, I really feel like this is like maybe like, I feel like the last track here is, I really love this last track. It's a really good one. We've got two fairly good, maybe great tracks. Then, I mean, that's even arguable. And then the rest of them, it's like, all right, guys, I don't care how many tracks you said you had ready for this album. You were wrong.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, anything else we want to say before we move on?
No, man, I'm ready for the next track. Let's get this. Let's get it on.
All right, get it on. Okay, so here is the finale for our 12-chapter epic of Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Yes, here is the final track off of this double album. It is titled Spit Out the Bone. that was the finale in the album. What do you think, Jesse?
Coop, were you following this lyrically by chance?
I was.
Fucking, it's a Metallica song about machines taking over the earth. Holy shit!
You mean they can write a song about something like this and not about in a world?
I can't believe it. This is a Mark Radulich jam all over, dude. I mean, if you look at this lyrically, because what happens is, maybe I'm different. I'm probably on a different level than a lot of different people. In other words, I listen to a song, I try to understand and enjoy the lyrics, and I may understand I may understand what they're saying, but until I get the lyrics in front of me and actually read them along with it, I then have a better understanding as to what the hell's going on here. So what caused me to do that is, I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Spit out the bone. So the image that I have is somebody eating a piece of chicken or a piece of boneless, like a chicken nugget, and they get a bone and they got to spit it out. All right? Hey, that's pretty basic. That's what the title makes me think of. I'm like, okay, we got to look at this lyrically and figure out what's going on. Okay, this song's badass now. We got these fucking robots taking over the earth, and spitting out the bone is obviously it's a phrase for the robots to obviously kill or get rid of anything man-made, or I should say anything organic. So, okay, Coop, now that I marked out for the robots taking over the world song, what are your thoughts, man?
I did also envision a man eating copious amounts of chicken.
That's what
I didn't mean like
it's Thanksgiving, everybody.
That is right. It was just the week of Turkey Day, where I went. They did breakfast for Thanksgiving, which is awesome. Breakfast is good at any time.
Hell yeah. Mark had some comments on this song. I mean, I don't know if you saw them or not.
Oh, I did. I was going to read them.
Go for it.
He just says he was totally feeling like this song is Whiplash, at least Whiplash inspired. I can hear it now that he mentions it.
Yes.
And that at least this song has balls. Because I will say that is something the second half of the album lacks. I really feel like this was like the real Load-inspired half.
Mm-hmm.
Where, I mean, that's not necessarily all a bad thing. There's lots of good things that came out of Load. It was just, they really are lacking that edge that makes them like, we're Metallica. Yeah, they just didn't have a lot of balls. But this song in particular, this one, I'm like, yeah.
And this, I think this was their third single. I'm going to look it up. You go ahead and keep talking, but I think this was their third, which, by the way, that's great. I'm glad that they chose this song because it is a bright spot off of this album.
I agree. I think this is the best song off of this half of the album. One of the best of the album, really. I really enjoy it.
Singles from Hardwired is Hardwired, released August 18th, Moth in the Flame, September 26th, and Atlas Rise was the third one. I could have swore this one. And again, I bet you what it is I'm confused because Spotify added it to a playlist, and I assumed it was a single that they released. So my bad, folks. We've really picked this thing apart, wouldn't you say? I mean, we really, going into this, I thought we were going to be excited Metallica fans, and we're going to praise this album. Welcome back, guys. 8 years has been too long. We look at what we've seen here and what we've commented on this, especially this second half of the album, is the cannibalization of themselves, where it just feels like they're recycling some of the stuff that they've put out there before. Now, there may be a good reason for that. Okay, I don't know if I can say good reason, but I'll at least say there is a reason for that, and that is, I mean, what have people been saying to Metallica since Load and Reload, since possibly the Black Album? We want to hear you take it back to the roots. We want to hear, we want to hear something fast. We want to hear what we enjoyed before. And they felt okay, let's give them something we know they will like. And the only thing I could think of is they listened to what they used to sound like and grab some stuff off of there. Most likely what I'm saying is absolute bullshit. I didn't watch any interviews. I didn't watch anything about the production or, the recording of this album. So I really don't know. But what I can tell you what we see, at least what we've seen in this album, is that we're telling Metallica, hey, we want hard, we want fast, we want, something to just put us on our backs and go, holy shit, welcome back, Metallica. But what we're getting is, we've heard that before, and we've heard that before, and we've heard that before. They're not. I don't know if you could say they're phoning it in, Coop. I think that would probably be fairly. I think that'd be fairly critical of me to say something like that. For me to say that they're phoning it in, it's fucking Metallica. They can do whatever the fuck they want. But this isn't the best album of the year. I'll tell you that right now. This ain't making This is not making my list when we do the end, our celebration spectacular. So I'll go ahead and I'm done. If I'm going to give it a grade, as for an album as a whole, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. As for the second album itself, I'll give it a. Next year, I promise, I want to do some other type of a scale, like 5 wiener wags or something. I don't know. But I'll
5 wiener wags? Why wiener wags? No.
It's not a wiener wag.
I hope they're circumcised.
Sorry. Anyway, no, I'm going to give it a thumbs up as well, because there's really, when we look at it, we got 6 songs, 2 of which I think we can pass on, but 4 of which, so I'll give it a thumbs up. Pass, fail, it passes.
Well, it's like a lot of my gas, I'm sure. Mark gave just 2 here. He gave it a C+. Perhaps not a C++.
Oh, but we're dropping.
Yeah, yeah. That's about as much as I know about computers. Besides, do not stick an ice cream sandwich. Do not stick a piece of bologna in the disk drive. I felt like Spit Out the Bone was good. Confusion was a really solid song. But then you had songs like Am I Savage, which were fine. Or,
yes, I am.
Merc One. Yeah, Am I Savage? I am man. Yes, I am. See, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just not a whole lot that stands out here. This really just feels like what I talked about. If you took, honestly, no, it feels like Load. It feels like Load. We got a really good first half, a second half that was kind of meh, and then like a few bright spots in that second half. God damn it, they remade Load.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as an overall album, I'd give this 7 out of 10. Solid 3.5 stars. There's a lot of good in this album. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, Metallica's back in their true form. The gods of metal.
I don't think we'll ever get it, man. I don't think we'll ever get it. I honestly don't think we will.
They're not the people anymore. I mean, yeah. I really don't feel like that they can really tap into that. But I mean, that's fine. We've still got the classic Metallica. They're still putting out good music. I mean, some of the stuff they put out, like Halo on Fire, and I loved Halo on Fire, but Hardwired. I mean, that first half of the album, I'm going to go back and listen to that a few times. I really enjoyed it, but overall, this second half I felt like it was just missing something. Oh, hush, Mark. I am getting there. But yeah, this overall solid album. Really happy it came out finally. But
hey, this is Mark. I'm doing editing here in the year of our Lord 2024, and I cut the rest of the podcast from back when we did this, because at this point they just go into plugs, and as you know, we go 20 minutes into plugs usually. So anyway, that was Then, This Is Now, and we are saying goodbye for past Robert Cooper, past Jesse Starcher, past Disembodied, Blog Talk Radio Jesus, Mark Radulich. I'm current day Mark Radulich. Be well, be safe, and behave.